Well, at the end of last hour, we have we run into a little bit complicated codes, right? And basically, it is this line of code, right? This xtet function code is actually a very useful function code, right? So I'd like to spend more time explain how it works, okay, and what can we do from it, right? So this xtet is very useful, right? You can actually give it two categorical variables, and let me say it again, right? So during the break, some classmates asked about how this xtet works, right? It's only one line of code, okay? So the code itself is not that difficult, but you need to understand what it is working, right? This syntax, it means that I want to summarize the price by MF and CAT, okay? MF and CAT are actually a variable in Z, right? Okay? In this Z data frame here, we actually have an MF. Z is actually has data and has data of product category and also product code, right? So I want to like summarize the price. Okay, this line of code is where is that? Where is it? Here. With this line of code, I actually want to summarize the price by category and MF, okay? So category is, we already know what it is, right? It's the product category. But there's a trick here. Instead of giving the entire Z, I only filter out the category that exists in this 1 to 30, right? So I only include the top 30 category because otherwise the metric will be too long, right? Okay, so here is actually a data frame, but I kind of like limited the data frame so that it only we only have the data that belongs to the top 30 category, okay? And this expression, it means that I want to summarize the revenue, total revenue by MF, and actually this is the customer group, right? You remember that? Okay, so in this code chunk, we actually divide the customer, right? We divide the customer by their buying frequency and also by their average amount, okay? Into 16 group, right? So the M4F4 is the group that buy the most and most frequently, and M1F1 is the group that buy the less and the less frequency to buy, right? Like to buy the customer, right? 16 group. So with this summation, I kind of like calculate the I kind of like generate a metric so that this is the customer group, right? And this is the category, right? And this is the amount of this is the revenue that the group M1F1 spent on category 100505. You get the point? Okay? Is that clear enough? Okay? So this X tabs, it's very useful comment, right? It kind of like summarize the combination of two categorical variable, okay? For every combination of these two variable, it summarizes the price, okay? It summarizes the price. With that, you can see that how different group spend on different category, okay? And we put that in the matrix, and then we visualize it. Visualize this matrix, okay? So after you visualize this matrix, you'll find one thing, right? It's not very useful, right? Okay, because of course, this we want to see that which group is buying which category, but as you can see that most of the revenue are actually generated in like, generated by these three groups, right? And most of the revenue are generated by these two product category, right? Isn't it? It's natural, right? Because you have some group. This M4F4 and M4F3, M3F4, they naturally will generate the most revenue. Like you already know that, right? So when you visualize it, this visualization did not give you extra information, right? You already know that these two categories generating a lot of revenue, right? Okay, you already know that this group are generating a lot of customer group, and this category are generating a lot of revenue, right? So what's the point to make this metric? Okay. Now, there's a very, very important thing that when we do the exploration concept that I want to introduce, is called normalization, okay? Because this M4, the customer in this M4, F4, they buy a lot of times, and every time they buy a lot of money, right? So if I compare it directly with the M1, F1, it will not give us extra information, right? Okay? So there's a trick. As I can see that this is MX1, right? When we visualize MX1, this is what we see. But I do a transformation, right? It's called normalization. I divide MX0 by the raw sum of MX0. What it means? It means raw sum is this way, right? So I sum the number for each row and put it as the denominator. And in the denominator, I put the original value, right? Which means I actually transfer the number here from value to percentage, to ratio, right? Okay, it means that it is like, for example, here the value is 0.16, right? It means that for M4, F3, in this group, they spend 16% of their money on category 560201. Okay, I mean in this sale, it tells us that M4F3 in this group, they spend 16% of their money on 560 category 560201. Okay, and this is more dramatic, right? In this M4F1, it spend about 17% of their money on this product, right? So in this way, you can see that after we do this normalization, I mean, after I do this transformation, I kind of transform the buying amount into the percentage of money they spend, right? Because every row is summed and put it in the denominator, okay? So it becomes the percentage, right? The value here is actually the ratio instead of the money, right? Okay? So now you can see that the people who, this four group of customer, they tend to buy 110217, right? They spend large money in buying that, right? Okay? And this group, they actually they like to buy this product, but that not so much, right? So, but this normalization process, normalization is very easy to do, right? Okay, it converting amount to ratio, okay, so that we can say that, for example, in this cell, the M3F2 group spend 17% of their money on category 560201. Okay. So without doing this normalization, you will see this metric will not give us information, right? Because you already know that these are the group who this matrix, the value here is actually the buying amount, right? Okay, and in this matrix, after I do the normalization, it's no longer the amount, but the percentage of money that a group of that M3, for example, M3F2, is spend 7% of their money on 560402, okay, and they only spend like less than only 0.1% of their money, 0.2 actually, of their money on 470103, right? So you can see that different group of customers actually spend their money on different category, right? If you compare the revenue, you will see something like this, okay? It will usually emphasize the most selling category and most buying customer, right? But if you want to understand how the buying pattern varies among the customer group, you had better do a normalization before you do the visualization. Do you get my point? Okay. Otherwise, if you directly compare the revenue, you always see a metric like this. This visualization gives you no extra information, right? So this is a very important concept that I want to cover in this notebook. Okay. See, we can. First of all, we can divide the customer by their buying frequency and buying amount, and then we can kind of pick up the category that generated the largest profit, okay? And we can make a matrix. But after we generate the metric, we can see that this metric actually do not give us extra information, right? Because the revenue actually is concentrated on the most buying customer, on the most selling category, right? Now, if you want to see the different buying pattern across different customer group, you need to do a normalization, which convert the amount into ratio. Okay, so that the group become comparable, right? Otherwise, they are not comparable, right? If you are comparing the buying amount of M4 F4 to like M1 F1, it's nothing to compare because everything here is absolutely higher than everything in here, right? So you do not compare revenue directly, right? You divide the row by the row sum, and in this way you transfer the buying amount into the buying ratio. So you can say that that each different group, this group they prefer to buy this category, and this group they prefer to buy this category, right? So in this way you can see the difference among them. Okay, so in this chart I simply do that by I simply do some more restrictions so that I only see the top 20 category, right? And then here I time 100 so that this is the percent, right? So as you can see that spend 20% here, okay? So this is the thing that I want to cover, right? Okay, metric is the key data construct for group comparison, right? So you can apply statistic on two categorical variable to create a metric, as we do here, right? These two categorical, so you can generate the metric, right? And then so when you have a matrix, the metric has a lot of numbers, so you need to visualize it, right? So you can use heat map. It's the best tool to visualize metrics, okay? So it displays value by color, okay? So however, when you do the heat map, you need to be careful, right? If you put the revenue directly on the heat map, you will always see the revenue concentrate on the most buying customer and most selling category, right? If you want to compare the different buying pattern among the different customer group, for marketer, this is what we want to know, right? This is what we want to know. We want to know that how the buying behavior varies among different customer group, right? So this is the way to do it, okay? This is the way to do it, okay? You need to do a normalization, and the code is actually very short, right? Okay. So, still, I would say that for beginners, for you, it's kind of difficult to do this exploration, use this exploration technique from scratch, right? So in this notebook, I try to give you some example. So by modifying the code, you can, right, kind of like jumpstart your exploration process, okay? So this is all for the notebook 3. So any question in this notebook? Okay, if no question, let's proceed to the notebook 4, right? Now, in this notebook, I will concentrate on product, okay? Notebook 3 is concentrated on customer, and notebook 4 is concentrated on product, okay? Now, again, let's run the first chunk, and then in the second chunk, again, we will load the data and actually load the packages. So after loading data, again, we will see the data here, right? So now we want to see the contribution of products and category, right? Okay. So before doing that, we want to count the number of distinct customer, product category, and transaction. So it's a very good, it's a very handy function code called summarize add. It means that I want to apply this function code to this 4 column and distinct, number of distinct. So we have 32,000 distinct customer, 23,000 product, 2,000 product category, and like about 119,000 transaction. And then we do the transaction, and then we do the visualization here. Okay, let's go to the browser. I believe it would be easier. Okay, so in this plot, actually every point is a category, right? It's a product category, and actually the x coordinate and y coordinate is the. Let me see. This is the. Profit and revenue, right? So it's the total profit contribution and total revenue contribution, right? In different product categories. Okay, so you can see that, for example, for this one, category 500201, it generates so many revenue and generate about the profit, the revenue, the margin, right? So it actually use x coordinate, y coordinate, and the color to represent the profitability and revenue generating capability and margin of product. As you can see that the margin can be as high as like 26%, 27, 28%, right? And some of them, they are very low margin. The margin is only like 2.5%, which means that you every $100 you sold, you only earn 2.5, right? And for this product category, it actually for every $100 sold, you will earn $28. Okay, so you like to sell this product, right? But this product actually you can see that, right? The red color points are actually the high margin product, right? But and this high profit product are not necessarily generating the largest revenue, largest profit, right? Okay, because their revenue are small. Okay, you get the point, right? Some product you have a low margin, but you sell a large amount, right? The revenue is very high, right? So although their margin is low, they are actually more profitable than this one, right? Isn't it? Okay, because its revenue is very low, right? And this guy, although its margin is low, but its revenue is high. So if we do if you want to find out what is the product category that you want to focus on, you want to focus on the product category that give you larger revenue, larger profit, and you want to see compare the margin across product category, right? And in order to do so, again, it is very simply a group by summary type of things, right? You group by zip zero by category and summarize the number of times it's sold, the quantity is sold, the total revenue is generated by category, right? The total cost, right? And then the profit would be equal to the revenue minus cost, right? And margin is very easily be calculated by divided profit by revenue and turn it into percentage by time in 100, right? So this is the way to do group by summary, and then what you want to do is do a top end, right? This is the top 100 profit. I only want to keep the top 100 profit category here. Otherwise, it would be like 2,000 points here, right? It would be too much, okay? So this is the top 100 profit category. And then we are doing this ggplot, right? Again, we use profit as x coordinate, revenue as y coordinate. We use margin as color, and we add a label to category so that when we point to the category, we can see its category name. Okay, category ID. Okay. So this Gochang should be straightforward, right? And then here's a kind of like exercise, right? So I want you to modify this Gochang so that you can. I want to visualize the top 100 category that contribute the largest revenue, right? Here is the largest profit, right? So you use top end profit, right? Right now you want to do the largest revenue, right? And I also want to filter out the category with negative margin, okay? So if you go to the code, you can see that I only need to change two things, right? Originally, it's top 100 profit. Here, I'm using top 100 revenue, right? So, when you get used to this dplyr and ggplot2, it's like data analysis is kind of like you will have a lot of fun, right? See, you only need to change a little thing, And this is because I say I want to filter out the category whose margin are lower than 0, actually. So I just put in the filter here, and the rest of thing basically all the same, right? So if you execute, sorry, I should do that first. You will see the plotting here. Okay, so now this is no longer the top 100 profitable category. This is the top 100 revenue generating product category, right? Okay, and again, there are more practice here following up. Okay, this is the top 300 product item. Now, this is no longer product category. This is the product item. So here is the product ID instead of the product category. Product ID is quite lengthy, right? It's 47101141280038. Again, you can like use your imagination to to say that what is that? Okay, what is that? Okay. So when you want to pick up the focus of some product category or some product item, right? You can use this way, right? You kind of like group by summary, using this group by summary scheme to summarize by category, or in this way, in this case, you you summarize by product, right? And then you can like use this interactive diagram to pick up the category or product that you want to focus on. Okay, this is the thing that we. And the last thing that I want to cover is like, see, in customer and product are always the two most important things that we want to, that we are interested of when we are doing marketing, right? So actually, there's a way to group customer by their buying patterns, which means I want to first of all I try to pick up the 50 category that most people buy. Okay. So see this N distinct customer, right? So which means that I actually group by category and summarize by the number of customers who buy the category, right? And I pick up the 50 product category that has the more people buy, right? We call penetrating, right? It means that more people buy this 50 category than the other category. Okay, so I use this CM as a filter, right? So I filter Z0 category in this 50 category, and then again I'm using this X-tab, right? So this time I'm doing customer and category, and in front of the tilde there's nothing, right? So when you have nothing here, it only do the count, right? It don't do the sum, right? It simply count the time that the customer buy this category, right? So let me take a look at X, so we will have a better idea of what it is, right? Need to do this first, right? And then I can do this. Now, after doing that, I will have a metric X. Now, in this metric X, as I told you that if in the code I do not put anything before this tilde, it is the count, right? Which means that this is a customer, right? So this customer buy this category 1 time, and this customer buy this category 3 times, okay? And buy this category 1 time, buy this category 1 time. And this customer buy this category 4 times, and buy this category 2 times. So this is customer, and this is category. Because I'm doing this, right? And without putting a summary variable, it simply counts the number of records. Okay. So with that, we have this matrix showing us, as you can see, this matrix has like so many entry and 50 column. This column is the product category, right? So and we only have 50 column here, but we have so many customers, so that it is actually a very lengthy matrix, right? Okay. So now the next thing I want to do is I want to like do a clustering, right? Okay. Actually, we will discuss more about clustering next week. Okay. So this week is kind of like but grouping customer by clustering. By clustering, it means that we want to group subject. In this case, we want to group customer by similarity. In this group, in this case, we want to group customer by similar buying patterns. Okay? Which means that by calling k-means, k is simply a constant, right? A constant variable. The number of groups that I want to group them. In this example, I group it into 160 group. Okay, and the set is actually because this k-mean method. If you do not set SID, it actually would cluster randomly. So it will have some random element of this method. So if I want to have every classmate has the same result, I need to set a SID, right? So you can ignore this line of code. It didn't matter too much, right? Okay. When you are doing a notebook, you sometimes don't want to have a random results, right? So by when we use this function code with random property, we will usually set a SID so that we will have the result, have the same result every time, right? When we call k-mean, we will have the same result. So using k-mean is actually easy, right? You just give it the metric, this metric that is the buying pattern of customer, right? And then I want to use k-mean to group this about 29,000 customer into 160 group. Again, in X, I have this many customer, right? And now I want to group them into 116 group by similar buying patterns. Okay? I want to group this number of customers into 116 group and by similar buying pattern, right? Okay, so I say I will discuss more about clustering method next week, right? So far you just know that with this simple function code, you can group customer by similar buying pattern into K groups, into 116 groups. And it will generate a vector actually. And if you see this vector, you will see that let me run this first. Okay, so the KG is actually a vector of the same length as x, right? Because I'm using x to do the grouping, right? So the grouping variable is actually telling me that which customer belong to which of these 160 group, okay? And if we do a table on KG, you will see that the largest group is group 18. It has like 2684 customer within it. And the second largest group is 87. And we have so many customers within the group, okay? So in this way, we like kind of group customer by similar buying pattern. And then again, we can only plot the group of appropriate size, which means that let me see it this way. Because we have like some group has only very few customer in them, right? For example, like group 25 only have one member, group 37 only have one member. This is very often that I should say that usually when you do a clustering, you will always have some group of a very large size, and you will always have some group of very small size, right? But that doesn't matter, because we can actually specify the size, right? For example, before doing the plotting, now every bubble here is a group, right? And I only want to visualize the group of group size within 200 and within 200 and 1000, okay? And here is the average buying amount, and here is the average frequency, right? Okay. So the benefit of grouping customer in this way is that each of this group have a very similar buying pattern. So for example, I can like in this way I can kind of like using about the same technique that we mentioned again. In this chunk of code, I do not have time to do the code very thoroughly, but we do have time to like see. Every group has a very specific buying pattern. For example, this group, like group 135, okay? This group 135 is spent about, in average, we spend about, let's see what this value means. It means the, okay, so this is the number of time you buy, right? So 135, group 135, member of group 135 buy product category 110401, in average they buy it like 2.34 times, okay? And group 139, they like to buy, it also like to buy 110401. In average, they buy, every member of 139, it buy 110401, 4.6 times. 4.62 times, okay? And so if you want to focus on these two groups, okay, you can use this product category to attract them, right? Isn't it? Okay? So if you want to focus on these two groups, then you can use this product category to attract them, right? So you can see that every group here, actually you know their buying pattern, okay? For example, you might want to focus on the size, it's actually the group size, right? If I want to focus on, for example, the total profit is actually the most important thing that we care about, right? So we know that this group is very, very profitable, and its group size, you have like 213 members in this group, right? And its group number is 115, right? So if I want to focus on this group, okay, I actually can look up 115 here, right? So I know that this group of customer, they like to buy 100102. It also like to buy 100205, right? Isn't it? Right? So we concentrate on customer, we concentrate on product, and we also want to know the relationship between customer and product. We want to know that not only that we want to select the frequent buyer and the large amount buyer, okay, we also want to know that within this group, which type of product they prefer to buy, right? Isn't it? Okay. So in this way, in this way, we combine the product and customer data, right? So after we select a group from this chart, we can look up this heat map to see that, for example, for group 115, we like to buy these two categories, and for this 103, this is two categories that they like to buy, right? Okay, and for like group 136, for example, you might want to focus on these categories. See that? So in this way, we kind of combine, we select customer we group customer by similar buying pattern, so that we can select a group of customer, profitable customer, and knowing that their buying pattern to help us do our marketing design. Okay? So this is what we want to cover in this shopping cart analysis. Because of the R version compatibility problem, this section I would temporarily abort it, suspend it. So this is all I want to cover in this notebook. Okay? So today we learn a lot of different technique that you can apply to do this to do data exploration, right? This exploratory data analysis is quite, it's not systematic, right? It composed of a lot of different technique, right? So by these three notebook, I kind of give you the example and sample codes, right? So you know how to do the exploration in general. You know how to explore customer group, and you know how to explore product category and product, right? And usually you want to focus on the most profitable or most revenue generating product and customer, right? And then in notebook 4, we also learn how to like group customer by their buying pattern, so that you can select, after you select a group that you want to focus on, you know that because you know their buying preference, right? So you can kind of like design a marketing scheme to attract them. Okay, now it's already 12 o'clock. Let's go to the assignment very, very quickly. The assignment is very straightforward, right? Okay, because we have like in 2 weeks we want to do the midnight presentation. Okay, and next week is actually your midterm actually examination, right? So in this week, our homework assignment is a group assignment. Okay. Now, referring to the TF234, right? I want you to like follow the code, understand the code, right? And as I say, you might want to do more exploration. Okay? Yes?
Professor, because in these three notebooks we've run through most of the codes, like what specifically would you like us to do in those notebooks? Just interpret the quiz questions, or?
No, I don't want. I do not have. I just give you some example that marketer might be interested in, right? But you can explore more, right? Always. Okay. Just for example, for this one, right? And here I'm exploring the. I'm compiling the average revenue and actual average frequency of every age group, right? And you might want to like explore the zip code, right? And you might want to explore the average profit, average margin, right? So that's up to you, right? Okay? And the point is to, by doing this exploration, you want to do this, right? The reason that we want to explore is because we want, we are doing exploration by comparison, right? And the reason we want to compare among customer product is because we want to select the focus and set a goal, right? After your exploration, in the midterm, I want every team to like generate a 8-minute video, okay? And you want to show me your exploration. You want to show me the group that you select. You want to show me the reason. You want to explain to the class the reason that you select the group, right? And you already know the performance of the group, right? So the revenue, the margin, the whatsoever. And you should set a focus, right? So according to the data, you should set a focus, a reasonable focus on the group, right? So that's, so this homework this week is actually a preparation for your midterm, okay? So next week we will teach you more advanced technique in exploration, but it's not that important as the basic technique that we covered this week, okay? So use this notebook to jumpstart your data exploration, okay? And prepare your midterm starting this week, okay? Any question? Okay, if no question, we are done here, okay?